Jane Doll, today we are going to study mutation and genetic code. On the previous class we have studied genetic code. Now we are going to study mutation. Mutation is the sudden inheritable change that occur in the genetic material, that is in DNA or RNA. Some sort of changes, and that changes are passing from one generation to another, that is called inheritable. So the inheritable change that occurs in DNA or RNA is called a mutation, and it is of two types. They are point mutation and frame shift mutation. First of all, what do you mean by point mutation? So this is mutation which occurs in a single base pair, where the single base pair is replaced by another base pair. So that type of mutation is called a point mutation. But in frame shift mutation, here the mutation occurs by the insertion, that is addition, or the deletion of a base pair. Here the base pair is added or one base pair is deleted from there. But here in point mutation, one base pair is substituted by another one, that is point mutation. A very good example for point mutation is sickle cell anemia. You have already studied sickle cell anemia on the 5th chapter. When we are observing a sickle cell anemic person, their DNA has GAG and CTC. And the mRNA which is formed from that DNA is GAG. Here the template strand is this one. So based on this template strand, a new mRNA is formed. That mRNA is similar to the coding strand. So that is the mRNA, that is GAG. And GAG is coding for which amino acid? Glutamic acid. So this amino acid is present on the 6th position. While when we are observing a sickle cell anemic person's DNA, in the place of a adenine, there we can see thymine. So when adenine is replaced by thymine, opposite side there we can see adenine. So here we can see the change. In this two nitrogen bases, we can see the changes. As a result, the mRNA which is formed here is GUG instead of GAG. So this is the template strand. So based on this template strand, the new mRNA will be GUG. And GUG is coding for which amino acid? Valine. So on the 6th position, when we are observing this sickle cell anemic person's body, the 6th position amino acid, glutamic acid, is replaced by valine. That you have studied. So that is about sickle cell anemia. So in this case, sickle cell anemic persons, one base pair is substituted by another one. Instead of adenine, here we can see thymine. So naturally on the opposite strand, instead of thymine, we can see adenine. So one base pair is substituted by another one. So this type of mutation is called a point mutation. That is mutation which is occurring at a point by the substitution of another base pair. In frame shift mutation, there we can see the insertion or deletion of base pairs are present. One or more base pairs are inserted or deleted. So based on that, there are two types of frame shift mutation. They are insertion and deletion. In insertion, one or more nucleotides are added to a DNA segment. And in deletion, one or more nucleotides are removed from the DNA segment. So that is called a frame shift mutation. An illustration which is given in your textbook is explaining about the insertion type of frame shift mutation. See the illustration which is given in your textbook. Here you can see a sentence. Ram has a red cap. See, compare this sentence as an mRNA. Because when we are observing an mRNA, there we can see the informations in the form of triplet, isn't it? Codons are present in the form of triplet. Here also we can see a sentence. Each word consists of 3 letters. Here Ram has red cap. So this is an example for an mRNA, or consider this sentence as an mRNA. So when we are inserting a letter, first of all, when we are inserting a letter, B, in between has and red, what happens to the sentence? The sentence has changed. Ram has, now we can't read the sentence in a proper way, isn't it? So when a letter is inserted here, the reading frame is changed. Again, when we are inserting 2 letters, B and I, in between has and red. First of all, we have inserted 1 letter. At that time also, frame has changed. Suppose then next we are inserting 2 letters, B and I. Then what happens to the sentence? Again it changed. Ram has, again BIREDC. Here B and I are inserted. So BIR becomes one codon, then EDC, then AP. That means again the reading frame is changed. So these B and I are representing the nucleotides which are added or inserted into a DNA. Next, in the third case, when we are adding 3 letters, that means 3 nucleotides are added to this mRNA or to this DNA. In between has and big. What happens? Here we can see a sentence. Ram has big, because 3 letters are added. BIG. Big red cap. So here what is the difference means? Here the reading frame remain unaltered. So in frame shift mutation, what is a common factor that can be seen both in insertion and deletion? If we are inserting or if deleting 1 or 2 nucleotides, the total reading frames are changed. But if 3 nitrogen bases or 3 nucleotides or the multiples of 3's are added or inserted, the reading frame will not change. So that shows that codons are triplet. Next we can study the structure of tRNA. tRNA, what is the full form of tRNA? Transfer RNA. We have studied which polymerase enzyme is coding tRNA. Yes, RNA polymerase enzyme 3. In eukaryotes, RNA polymerase enzyme 3 is coding tRNA. The other name of tRNA is soluble RNA, that is sRNA. And tRNA is otherwise called an adapter molecule. Who called tRNA as an adapter molecule? That is Francis Crick. We have studied Francis Crick during the double helical model of DNA that was proposed by Watson and Crick. Again, we have studied Francis Crick during central dogma that was also proposed by Francis Crick. Again, we are studying Francis Crick, and he called tRNA as an adapter molecule. Why he called tRNA as an adapter molecule, or tRNA is known as adapter molecule? Why? Because the tRNA, transfer RNA, on one hand it read the message which is present in mRNA, that is in the form of codons. So on one hand it read the message from mRNA, at the same time it bring the corresponding amino acid from the cytoplasm to the protein synthesizing site, that is on the ribosome. So that's why tRNA is called an adapter molecule. So tRNA is doing the 2 processes simultaneously, that is reading the message, and based on the message it will bring the amino acid from the cytoplasm to the ribosome. Next comes the structure of tRNA. So these are the 2 types of structure, and this is clover leaf model of tRNA. That is, its 3-dimensional view of tRNA is in clover leaf model, and the actual shape of tRNA is inverted L shape. So this is inverted L shape, and this is clover leaf model. And when we are observing tRNA, it has 3 loops. Here you can see the 3 loops are there. And this is known as T loop, this is D loop, and this is anticodon loop. Here also we can see the anticodon loop here. And here we can see the amino acid binding site or amino acid attachment site is present here. So mRNA is single stranded structure, isn't it? mRNA is single stranded structure having 5' polarity and another end is 3' polarity. So this 3' onto the 3' end, the amino acids are binding. So this is the amino acid attachment site that is on the 3' end, and the opposite end is 5'. So this is a single stranded structure but looks like double stranded one. See, RNA is single stranded. Here tRNA is also single stranded structure. And here we can see a site called anticodon loop. What is the speciality of this anticodon loop? This is anticodon loop. When we are observing the anticodon loop, this anticodon should be complementary to the codon site. So this is an mRNA. The red color structure is showing mRNA with the polarity 5' and 3'. This is another mRNA with the 5' and 3'. So this mRNA, which consists of codons, the messages are present in the form of codons. So based on the codons, tRNA will bring the amino acid. So when you are observing the genetic code that is on that box, you can see AGU is coding for which amino acid? Serine. So that AGU is identified by the particular tRNA with the anticodon site UCA. So the anticodon should be complementary to codons. So tRNA is also specific, isn't it? Because based on the codons, tRNA also will change. Suppose here it is AGU, here the anticodon sites should consist of UCA and the amino acid will present here is serine. So based on the codon, the tRNA will also change. So this is a structure of initiator tRNA. How we can identify this as an initiator tRNA? So the initiator tRNA means the first tRNA that starts that bring amino acid to the ribosome. The first amino acid which is coming to the protein synthesis is which one? Methionine. The first amino acid is methionine, that is coded by the first codon, start codon, which is the start codon AUG. That's coding for which amino acid? Methionine, that we have studied. So the initiator tRNA will be corresponding to this codon. AUG is the codon. So on the anticodon site of tRNA, what will be the nitrogen bases in complementary to A? Here we can see U. Here it is U. So here we can see A, and here G. So this will be C. So the anticodon site we can see UAC, and the amino acid is methionine. So in this way we can differentiate the initiator tRNA. So this is the structure of initiator tRNA. Usually it may ask, draw the structure of initiator tRNA. At that time you can draw the tRNA and draw an mRNA also like this. And the difference is the first codon is AUG because this is the initiation codon. And is coding for which amino acid? Methionine. So the methionine is brought by the particular tRNA with the anticodon site UAC. Look at this picture. Here you can see the three-dimensional view of tRNA, which is a clover leaf model. It has 3 loops. They are anticodon loop, then D loop and T loop. The amino acids are binded on the 3' end of the tRNA. The initiator tRNA will bring the amino acid, that is methionine, to the ribosome.